In mid-November 2025, Yorkshire was gripped by a powerful snowstorm that blanketed the region in thick snow, disrupted transportation, and left communities bracing for further impacts. The Met Office issued an amber weather warning for snow and ice across large parts of North and East Yorkshire, warning of frequent wintry showers leading to significant accumulations and potential blizzard conditions. What began as a typical November cold snap quickly escalated into a full-blown snow emergency. By the evening of Wednesday, November 19th, snow had already begun to accumulate across the North York moors and surrounding areas. By Thursday morning, up to 25 centimeters of snow had settled on higher ground, particularly above 100 meters elevation. The snowstorm was driven by a combination of cold Arctic air and moisture-laden winds from the North Sea, creating ideal conditions for persistent sleet and snow showers. These showers intensified overnight, with gusty winds producing occasional blizzard conditions along coastal and upland areas. The storm wreaked havoc on transportation networks. Key routes such as the A171 near Whitby and the A169 between Whitby and Pickering were closed due to heavy snow and stranded vehicles. Motorists were forced to abandon their cars and continue on foot in sub-zero temperatures, with images of long queues and snowbound vehicles circulating widely on social media. North Yorkshire Police issued urgent warnings, advising drivers to avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. Public transport was also affected, with delays and cancellations reported on bus and rail services throughout the region. Beyond travel disruption, the storm posed serious risks to infrastructure and public safety. The Met Office warned of likely power outages and potential interruptions to mobile phone coverage, particularly in rural and upland communities. Some villages faced the prospect of temporary isolation as snowdrifts blocked access roads. Emergency services were on high alert, with local councils deploying gritters and snowplows to keep priority routes open. However, the intensity of the snowfall outpaced efforts in several areas, especially on minor roads and exposed hills. According to Met Office meteorologist Greg Deworst, the worst-hit areas were expected to continue receiving snow showers throughout Thursday, especially along the northeast coast and inland toward the moors. While some parts of Yorkshire experienced brief sunny spells, the risk of further snow and ice remained high into Friday morning. The amber warning remained in effect until 9 p.m. Thursday, with a yellow warning for ice extending into Friday noon. The combination of freezing temperatures and residual moisture was expected to create hazardous conditions for pedestrians and drivers alike. Images shared by residents and local media showed picturesque scenes of snow-covered villages, frosted trees, and rolling white hills across the moors and wolds. Local communities rallied in response to the storm. Volunteers helped clear paths, check on vulnerable neighbors, and deliver supplies to those stranded. Schools in affected areas were closed, and many businesses allowed employees to work from home. Local authorities urged residents to prepare for further disruptions by stocking essentials, charging devices, and checking on elderly or isolated individuals. The Yorkshire Ambulance Service and local fire brigades remained on standby for emergency callouts. The storm reignited discussions about Yorkshire's winter preparedness. While main roads were generally well managed, the rapid accumulation of snow on secondary routes exposed gaps in coverage and coordination. Questions were raised about the adequacy of rural power infrastructure and the resilience of mobile networks during extreme weather. Policy experts suggested that climate variability may be increasing the frequency of such early-season snow events, urging investment in adaptive infrastructure and community-based resilience planning. Yorkshire was not alone in facing winter's wrath. The snowstorm was part of a broader cold front affecting much of the UK, with similar warnings issued for parts of northeast England, Scotland, and Wales. The Sperrin Mountains, Northwest Highlands, and Grampians also reported heavy snow, with upland Pembrokeshire seeing accumulations as well. The UK government's emergency weather coordination team monitored the situation closely, coordinating with local councils and utility providers to ensure rapid response and recovery. Meanwhile, more than 90 schools are shut in Aberdeenshire in Scotland, and others have been forced to close in the Highlands and Moray. Dozens are also closed in Pembrokeshire, Carmarthenshire and Ceredigion in Wales. The UK Health Security Agency, UKHSA, has also issued cold health alerts for England until Saturday, saying there could be significant impacts to the elderly and people with health conditions. Overnight temperatures dropped to -6.1 C in Warkop, Cumbria in England, -5.8 C in Sennybridge, Wales, -4.8 C in Drumnadrahit, Scotland, and -2.8 C in Altnahinch Filters, Northern Ireland. Daytime temperatures in most areas of the UK on Thursday will reach between 2 C and 6 C. Sleet and snow showers will be driven in by wind from the north and mainly affect exposed coastal areas. Areas where showers or rain and sleet have left the ground damp are at risk of ice becoming a hazard on roads and pavements. In Scotland, the A90 in Aberdeen was closed in both directions between Cleanhill roundabout and the Stonehaven roundabout on Thursday morning due to snow, with reports of many vehicles stuck. The Met Office warned that in parts of Yorkshire under the amber warning, significant snow accumulation will disrupt travel and could close roads and interrupt power. Some rural roads in the North York Moors were impassable early on Thursday morning. AA Patrolman Ben Westney in Pickering told BBC Breakfast. North Yorkshire Council said its crews were gridding priority roads, but urged caution as it said the action did not guarantee an ice or snow-free surface. National Rail warned on Thursday that it may be necessary for speed restrictions to be put into place in areas hit by snow and ice, which could result in cancellations, alterations, or delays. Cold Arctic air continues to take hold across the country, with the mercury overnight dropping to as low as -6 C at Spadeadam in Cumbria. But the coldest temperatures could still be ahead, the Met Office warned, with potential for lows of -12 C in areas of lying snow in Scotland on Friday. The BBC reports that in addition to the snowfall, some areas could see thundersnow, where thunderstorms form in wintry weather. Areas including London, Hertfordshire, Berkshire, Surrey, Essex, Shropshire and Northumberland saw snow on Wednesday, with Met Office weather stations in Lake Vyrnwy in Powys, Wales, recording 7 centimeters of lying snow at 8 a.m. Wintry showers will hit East Anglia, Western Wales and Cornwall overnight, but persisting snow in the northeast could cause substantial disruption, the Met Office said. National Rail urged rail commuters to check their journeys before traveling during the snowy and icy weather. Restrictions may be in place for trains to run safely, which could result in cancellations, alterations, and delays to services. Temperatures will begin to rise closer to averages for this time of year at the weekend when wetter and windier weather arrives, but it will not be as exceptionally mild as it was earlier in November, the forecaster said. Snow fell in Henley and Banbury on Wednesday morning, November 19th, amid a yellow warning for ice. Snow settled in Princes Risborough just over the Oxfordshire border in Buckinghamshire. The warning is in place for the southeast, as well as London, the east of England, the Midlands, northwest England, southwest England, West Midlands, Yorkshire and Humber, as well as parts of Wales. Untreated roads, pavements and cycle paths are likely to develop icy patches, increasing the risk of slips, falls and injuries, the Met Office has warned. The Met Office forecast for Oxfordshire says on Wednesday there will be long periods of rain through the morning, clearing to leave a cold, windy day with occasional showers and maximum temperature 5°C. From Thursday to Saturday it will stay cold and windy but is likely to remain dry, according to the Met Office. And it will be very cold overnight into Friday but stay dry. There will be rain overnight into Saturday, bringing more unsettled but generally milder conditions. For snow to settle and accumulate, ground temperatures generally need to be below 2°C. The weather outlook predicts a 40% chance of snow in London on Thursday, while new WX charts maps show snow could also hit the city later in the week on Sunday, November 23rd, reaching as far south as Eastbourne and even Dover. The Met Office is advising drivers, if you have to make a journey when snow is forecast, make sure you have warm clothes, food, water, boots, a torch and spade, and let someone know when you expect to arrive and your route. Try to wait until the roads have been gritted before traveling. Meanwhile, Simon Harrison is a contractor who worked through the night to clear roads and help stranded drivers. I've towed 5 vets out overnight. It was chaos, a complete whiteout, he says. I've had a couple of hours sleep and I've come out again because more people are getting caught out. It changes very quickly when you get up here, so people set off in clear weather and then they get in trouble pretty fast. Lorry drivers were stranded overnight on the A169 Whitby to Pickering Road. Gary Kavanagh, who was stuck from 17:30 Greenwich Mean Time, says, "I'm new to the job, only been driving 6 months. Coming from Pickering to Gisborough, the road was closed. It was chaos and there was half a mile of tailbacks. It literally went from clear roads to a whiteout in 5 minutes." The driver says military police from RAF Fylingdales brought them army rations. "I'm supposed to be delivering malt to breweries, so there'll be no whiskey," he adds. Heidi Franklin, from Dunswell, says her garden was covered in snow by 8 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, and her first task of the day was wiping it off her car. However, she was prepared for the snow. "I watched Paul Hudson last night on Look North, so of course we were expecting it," she says. Snow doesn't bother her, she adds, but she doesn't like driving in it. Miss Franklin doesn't think there will be enough to build a snowman in Beverly. "Sadly for the kids, I think it will start to rain soon and will all wash away in a couple of hours." Michael Hester runs Lockton Tea Rooms, which is just off the A169, north of Pickering, and has decided to shut up shop today. "We had a power cut last night from about 1900 hours Greenwich Mean Time, and it came back on between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So we were worried about stock and things in fridges and freezers," he says. "This morning we thought we could open, but with it still coming down quite heavily, we thought it wasn't right to expect or encourage people to travel." Hull City Council is encouraging motorists to allow additional time for journeys and to drive to the weather conditions.
Proper crunchy snow.
The council's gritters have been gearing up this week in preparation for the weather. The machines were out across the city last night and in the early hours of this morning. "Our aim is always to make Hull's roads as safe as possible and keep disruption caused by winter weather to a minimum," says Councillor Mark Ieronimo, Cabinet Portfolio Holder for Transport and Infrastructure. "From late autumn to late spring, we are on standby 24 hours a day to respond to bad weather conditions. Our activity is informed by detailed weather forecasts from 2 weather monitoring stations in Hull. This helps us forecast road surface temperatures and decide which roads need gritting and when. Adam MacArthur, Head of Environmental Services and Open Spaces at the Council, adds the Council's weather monitoring suggests a break in snow at lunchtime today. North Yorkshire Police confirms the A169 has reopened but warns motorists to please take care. It shut earlier between Whitby and Pickering due to the heavy snow conditions. Alex Parker, from the North Yorkshire branch of Charity Age UK, says he is really concerned about the people that we support. He is worried about their ability to get out and about, to be able to continue with their daily lives and to make sure they're safe and comfortable in their own homes. That includes staying warm at home, as well as accessing food, drinks, and medication. Mr. Parker is encouraging people to check in on elderly or vulnerable friends or neighbors, suggesting they can be a little bit stoic and might not ask for help. Snowplows are clearing the A169 between Pickering and Whitby on the North York moors. A broken-down vehicle brought traffic to a standstill on a stretch of the A169 earlier. Sue and Kevin Wheeldon in Beverley were called at 7:30 Greenwich Mean Time with an urgent mission to take their grandchildren sledging. Both are taking it in turns to push the children down the slope on Beverley Westwood. Mr. Wheeldon says, "It's fine at the start, but you soon get out of puff." Mrs. Wheeldon made sure that the children were wrapped up warm for their morning out.
We're still open online. I think the shop's still open in
She
town
says,
as well.
"I came up here when I was about their age to sledge." The eldest granddaughter, Devon, 11, runs back up the hill shouting again. She says she loves the snow and wishes it came to Beverley more, but adds, "I wish Grandma and Granddad could get better at pushing." On the North Yorkshire coast, BBC Radio York's Beck Homer says Filey has seen 4 to 5 inches of snow. "I've got a very excitable 11-year-old who has a snow day today. At 7:15 Greenwich Mean Time we were out in the snow," she adds.
See how easily the Subaru comes
With
up.
roads blanketed in snow, the local schools have shut for the day, and many people have given up trying to get out of their driveways. Most people are hunkering down for the day if they can, she says. North Yorkshire Council has suspended bin collections in parts of the county affected by heavy snow. The authority says its teams are unable to collect all waste and recycling bins in the Scarborough and Whitby areas today, with Easingwold and Stokesley also affected. In a Facebook post, the council adds, "If your bin is not collected, please leave it out, and we will collect it when we can."
Considering when I set off this morning, it was raining. This was just all wet.